let's go to Cork, shall we? Sorry. Cork County Council, 2 years ago, when we were coming out of deepest, darkest lockdown, everybody was kind of scrambling around to, well, if we can't go abroad, where do we go? And that wasn't quite the impetus for it, but it helped bring together a very good new app. Well, it was new at the time and has been built upon since, called Explore Cork. And it took many different forms and brought together many different ideas that were disparate and all over the place. And to talk us through just what they did in her allocated time, will you please welcome the Tourism Officer from Economic Development, Enterprise and Tourism of Cork County Council, Rose Carroll, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, David.
Thanks very much, Jonathan, and good afternoon to you all. And first of all, similar to the other speakers, I would like to thank NOAC and the CCMA for giving Cork County Council the opportunity to make a presentation on the Explore Cork app, an initiative which we've now become very proud of, and we think justifiably so. So just before that, I present you briefly on the background to the development of the app, the development of the app itself and the marketing that we're currently undertaking. I'm just going to show you a brief 30-second promotion video which we used to promote the app, and just to immerse you into what we consider to be some of the highlights of Cork.
On a sunny afternoon, hey, I'm a role model, pull the wool over your eyes. I'm gonna get up onto my saddle and race you to the light, and through the hustle, bustle, hustle, bustle now.
Okay, so just moving on from that with regard to the background to the development of the app. As tourism is regarded as Ireland's largest Indigenous employer, the tourism sector, as we all well know, was significantly challenged following the COVID-19 pandemic. So within Cork County Council, we set about endeavouring to create a tool that would assist the economy, and initially it was to help Cork residents to realise the value of staying close to home, when we were restricted in terms of our movement. And as businesses began to open up, then to support the return initially of domestic tourism and subsequently international tourism. So that led in the summer of 2020 to the development of a GIS-based desktop map. And that was developed using in-house resources, working with tourism team within the Economic Development, Enterprise and Tourism Directorate in conjunction with our ICT Directorate. That initiative formed part of Project ACT, which was the Activating County Towns groups set up in our 23 main towns, a dedicated programme to help support businesses in regenerating the economy in our towns at the time. One of the key functions of the desktop app was the What's Near Me function, and that allowed users to actually find activities within their localities, and that proved to be of immense benefit. So moving on from that, that's just some of the promotion material we would have used at the time in that summer when we developed the interactive tourism map. That was a photograph at the launch at a full council meeting, the foyer in the County Hall. And the success of that desk-based GIS map at the time in supporting domestic tourism, that over the following months brought to light the need for the further digitisation of the marketing of Cork from both a domestic and international perspective. So within Cork County Council, we subsequently took the decision, following extensive market research into the development of the app, and also following discussion with elected members, to undertake the development of a mobile tourism app, and that then would then serve as a long-term sustainable marketing tool. So with regard to the development of the app, we initially used the same in-house team that we used in developing the desk-based version, again in conjunction with our ICT Directorate. We sat down, established what the objectives of the project were to be, the scope and the timelines. And I suppose the primary aim was that we would replicate the key features of the GIS map with additional functionality. And one of the key aims of it would be obviously that it would be a mobile version as opposed to a desk-based version. This involved significant stakeholder consultation at all stages. And that ranged from liaising with Fault Ireland right through to Visit Cork, the body who market both leisure and business tourism in Cork, attraction managers, community groups, Cork City Council, leisure development companies, Sports Ireland, for the development of trails, Irish Hotel Federation, local business representatives, etc. So the data gathering was a huge task when you look at the size of Cork. That was conducted 100% in-house using Cork County Council staff. So that involved the gathering initially of over 850 points of interest using staff right across the Directorate, and in particular the use of our municipal district staff. That also involved mapping coordinates, contact information, huge task in the gathering of high-level imagery. Involved again extensive consultation with stakeholders to ensure that all relevant data was being captured along the way. And that was a significant task. So with regard to the project implementation, tender documents were drafted. We advertised in October 2020 and the process concluded in December 2020. Vitamin Cornwall, based in the UK, were successful to deliver the app, and all of our communication with them at the time, and indeed with all our stakeholders, was all done via Teams, obviously restricted in terms of meeting in person. Okay, so followed on from that then was deliverables with Vitamin Cornwall, and that ensured optimal functionality of the app. We had to adapt it as time went on. That resulted then in the launch of a prototype and extensive testing. And there was extensive testing both in-house and with key industry stakeholders. And we took the responsibility of ensuring that we were ensuring the due process was being followed and implementing all changes as we considered were necessary as the process evolved. That resulted in the app being developed, completed and launched in May 2021. So a very tight time frame. So briefly, the key features of the app: users can search a location of their choice within the What's Near Me function up to a radius of 100 kilometres. The app generates directions via Google Maps. It's available in 4 languages now at this stage: English, Irish, French and German. Dedicated town section for the 23 main towns. Trails category, providing extensive data right across the county, including trail gradient accessibility. As I mentioned earlier, 850 points of interest, which is now growing on a frequent basis. Under 19 categories. They're the 19 categories there listed on the screen, anything right from activities up to visitor attractions, so you can just choose an area that's of specific interest to you. It's the first of its kind to be developed by any local authority in Ireland, which we're proud of, and it also includes a favourites feature, which was a recent addition. So the app was launched in May 2021. And then what followed was a huge task in marketing the app and ensuring that the content was updated. So that just shows some of the promotional material there. Initially it started, we were targeting the domestic market back in 2021. So we took up print advertising in appropriate staycation publications, and we undertook a billboard campaign right across Cork County. We utilised all of our existing social media channels. We would have participated at trade shows, including Cork Summer Show, which is the image that's taken there on the screen with the then mayor at the time. And we would have participated at Holiday World Show and at Bloom in conjunction with Visit Cork. We since would have engaged micro-influencers as we saw fit, and that has reaped additional numbers downloading the app, so that's been successful. We promote the app at festivals and events that we financially support. We would have distributed 10 cards as opposed to individual flyers, bearing in mind the sustainability of the app and wearing our climate action hat. And we produced an infographic demonstration video, which I will show you at the end, which demonstrates the main functionality of the app. We targeted international marketing and carried out a very successful advertising campaign with Cork Airport, and that's some images there of the launch. That's very targeted and visible to the visitor as they arrive into the airport. Festivals and events, as I say, that we support, we would distribute appropriate banners and pull-ups, again promoting the app, and festivals and events would also promote it on their own websites as well. We produce promotional material, including pull-ups, which are displayed in many of our tourist attractions around the county in our tourist offices, and also merchandise, which we distribute to visiting delegations and at key events. Briefly, challenges, benefits and success of the app. Data gathering, as I mentioned earlier, was a significant challenge due to the sheer size of Cork County, and again due to the time constraints that we wanted to produce it in. The scope of the project changed as it went on, but we adapted as required to ensure that we were having the best app that we could produce at the time. Maintenance of the app does fall to us in ensuring that the app remains up to date, but we are meeting that challenge quite successfully. And as I say, I mentioned earlier, it's available in 4 languages, so it's constantly updating that to ensure that we are ensuring that all of the language content is up to date. So the benefits, it has resulted in an increase in the number of bed nights, and we have established that through engagement with the IHF. The app is very user-friendly, and it is a great one-stop tool for all staff working in hotels and attractions to point the visitor to. Local businesses have a dedicated town section, so it affords an opportunity to highlight each of the county's 23 main towns, and access to accommodation, restaurants and a town video. Community buy-in from an early stage has worked very well, because from the ground up, residents and indeed businesses are aware of the existence of the app, and that can be seen in terms of the number of attractions and activity providers reporting that they have seen an increase in their numbers. And there also is extensive analytics in the app, so that shows the origin of the visitors, the most viewed tourism activities, etc. And that's invaluable in terms of the further development of the app and indeed policy development. Current app installations, and it's important to mention that that's current, are in excess of 23,000. And that's just showing the most viewed categories, so we have extensive information available in terms of that on the app. The success of the app was reflected earlier this year in terms of winning the Best Tourism Initiative at the LAMA Awards, so we were very proud of that. And finally, I'm just going to show you a brief 1-minute video which shows the functionality of the app. Thank you. That concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Rose. Rose Carroll, ladies and gentlemen. Rose Carroll from Cork County Council and Sharon Corcoran is in the room as well, and she worked very hard on that app as well. It's a brilliant initiative, and another reason why you should all come to visit Cork. And David, they're coming to the city as well. Don't worry, city and county, they all have lovely places, as we'd say.